today, everyone. Hope all is well. Love and light. I'm gonna give a few minutes for you guys to jump on in the live before I start talking. I'm on my lunch break, guys. I'm on my lunch break. I know it's a lot of y'all that don't like to see YouTubers eating on their lives, but I'm on my lunch break, and if you got a problem with it, just log off. You do have options, okay? So I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes. I want to give you guys a few updates. I'm not gonna be on this live for long. I just want to express some things and give you guys a few updates, okay? Food looks amazing, guys. Let me show y'all what I got here. And then I'll go ahead and give you guys the updates. I got some comida dominicana, some rice with some concon and some fish. So that's what's on the menu for lunch today. As I said, I've been, I haven't made a live in quite some time. It's been a while, actually, since I've done a live. Actually, the last live that I believe that I did was back in April when I was in Dominican Republic. And I know we are now in June, approaching July. So a lot has been going on since I've gotten back home. And I just wanted to express some things. And as I said, give you guys an update. Okay, so, now that I'm back home, I pretty much have been on my grind. I've been on my grind. I'm trying to close out, finishing the home by the end of this year. So pretty much what I have going on right now is I'm doing the kitchen right now. I've been paid for them to do the cabinets. And the cabinets, the kitchen should be done probably towards the end of July. I gave them a deposit for the cabinets. And then once the cabinets are done, at that point, I will be doing the having the people come out to do the granite, which I'm not doing granite. I'm doing probably quartz. It's going to be a little pricey, but I mentioned to you guys previous, when you're building a home, especially if this is a home that you plan on occupying, it's better to do what you want. That way you don't end up having to spend more money later on down the line. So it's costing me. My partner done already gave me a price quote. It's gonna cost me what, just to do the cabinets is 250,000 Dominican pesos, which comes out to be about 4,200 just for the cabinets alone. And then the marble, the granite. Now he told me granite, so the price he gave me on the granite, I'm looking at about 130,000 Dominican pesos, which comes out to be about 2,300. 2,300. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe for those of you guys who are watching the live. So yeah, I'm looking at about 2,300 for the granite. But as I said, I'm expecting to pay a little bit more only because I'm looking at quartz. All right. So that's pretty much where I'm at. I done gave him a half a deposit. So by the second week of, actually the first week of July, cabinets will be done. And then towards the end of July, the granite will be done. Quartz granite, okay? So that's pretty much where I'm at in terms of the kitchen. Future World Films, what's going on? Kaboom, guess who stepped in the room? You already know, man. You already know. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. What's a granite? We're talking about the countertops for the kitchen. And we all know, I'm looking at altogether, it came out to be, my partner gave me a price of like 6,500, but I'm anticipating on spending a little bit more than that, only because quartz is a little bit pricey, so, and that's what everybody's pretty much using on their homes is quartz. And I want a high-end finishing on my home, so it's like when you open up the door, that's the first thing you are going to see is the kitchen. So I want it to be a wow factor, you know what I mean? Teresa, what's going on? How you doing? For those of you guys who are just joining in, please be sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe. And guys, I'm not going to be on here for long. So yeah, after I do the kitchen, my next step, guys, is going to be the roof. It's been a 3-year process. March of this year made 3 years. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I just want to get things done. So I have been like working my ass off since I've gotten back, and this is one of the reasons why you guys haven't seen me make any lives lately, you know. So that's pretty much where I'm at. And once August approaches, I will be doing the roof, the plateau, the roof of my home. So as I said, by the end of the year, I'm trying to be done. I'm trying to be done, you know. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now, and I'm just been focusing on that, and you know, some other projects that I got going on now. I just want to say this, guys. I just want to say this, and you know, since I went down to DR in when I went down in DR in April, you know, I have encountered some things with some of you viewers on my channel, and I just got to be, you know, transparent, because I've always been transparent with y'all. And you know, at this point, guys, as I said, you probably won't be seeing me make much lives at this point, only because I'm just really trying to focus on what I need to focus on, okay? And if any of you guys do want to reach out to me, y'all have my contact information. But I will say this, at this point, guys, I mean, you know, I've been doing this for the past 3 years. I have been transparent with you guys. I have put out a lot of informative information to help you guys navigate. You know, I solely created this channel so that I could help people, you know. And when it comes to my name and my reputation, it's, you know, I take that very, very serious. So if I'm posting properties on the channel, you know, anybody that I do business with is legit. I will say that. Something that you don't have to question, okay? That's one. Two, I find it that people, you know, they always want something for nothing, you know. So with that being said, and initially I said to you guys, listen guys, I don't charge for consultations, but at this point I'm charging for consultations. And anybody that's looking to reach out to me, you know, expect for me to charge a consultation. I just find it that, you know, I'm not going to say all, but a lot of people have wasted my time, energy, you know, and you know, I'm not here to rant. I'm just letting you guys know what it is, you know. That's going to pretty much, once I start charging consultations now, it's going to pretty much cipher who's real and who's serious, you know, when it comes to, you know, building a home and etc. You know, my time is precious to me, and I'm sure your time is precious to you. You know, people that I have encountered, you know, a lot of y'all want pretty much everything for nothing, you know. And I think that when you coming to me and you looking for something, you know, the right thing to do is give a donation, pay a person for their time and their energy. And not that I have asked any of you guys for anything, you know, but when you're wasting a person's time, I think that is the right thing to do. And I stand on doing things the right way. Y'all know that, you know, y'all know that. So, you know, I'm just at that point now whereas anybody that's looking to reach out to me, I will be charging a consultation from now on. Okay, I will be charging a consultation from now on. And that's just pretty much what it is. Yeah, I'm eating my lunch on my lunch break, because, you know, my time has just been, y'all have no idea, you know, working 5 days a week on top of double shifts, overtime. You know, I'm blessed to say that I can do, you know, overtime at my job so that I can get this done, you know. So I just been working, like I said, my ass off to make it happen, you know. And y'all will see updated videos of the cabin. Once the kitchen is done, I'll put out a video, you know, with the kitchen. I will put out a video once the roof is done, you know. So I'm anticipating all the kitchen, the roof will be done by September. So this is why I'm working hard now. I also want to make mention, you know, I find it that people that have reached out to me, and, you know, I have given you guys, some of you guys, my partner's number, only to find out that a lot of y'all are trying to go behind my back and get work done and cut me out, you know, of the projects that you want to get done. And, you know, and you know, it's really disheartening to hear this, you know what I mean? Because a lot of you think that, oh, you know, you reach out to my partner, he's not going to tell me that you contacted him. And then when I find out, it's like, oh, I didn't know that you guys were had a company going. Don't play with my intelligence. You know what I mean? Because this is what's going on. You know what I mean? I'm doing this. I've been doing this for 3 years, and what makes you think that I shouldn't? I don't deserve to get paid, and you trying to cut me out of a deal? And this is what's going on. And I just find it to be, as I said, disheartening to say the least, especially when I have mentioned this previously on my channel and on my lives, about starting my own construction company with my current partner and all of that. So to hear that, I'm not going to say any names. I'm not about to air anybody out, but they know who they are. They know who they are. And they want to play dumb like, oh, you didn't know, but you did know. You did know. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to kill anybody in terms of, upcharging on pricing and stuff like that. Once my house is done, the proof will be in the pudding. And then at that point, if you want to do business with me, so be it. And if you don't, so be it. You know what I mean? Big Picture Podcast, what's going on, bro? So, that's pretty much where I'm at this point, So if you're looking to get any informative information, I feel like I have put enough information out there for you guys to navigate. So if you want to know anything other than what I put out, just know that there will be a consultation fee at this point. Okay, I'm not here to waste my time and nobody else's. Call them out, call them out. They know, bro. They know who they are. They know that, and they did this not once. They did it twice. They did it twice. Only to try to cheat me. And you're only cheating yourself. They were shocked when my builder told them, you need to call J-Day. You need to call him. Yeah, because you reaching, and at this point, nobody's going to get my partner's information unless I am involved. Only to cut this out, because it's not right. You know what I'm saying? It's not right. So anybody that's looking to get their house built, just know that you got to come straight through me. Point blank, period. Okay? We're not doing this. All the work and effort that I have put into, I'm in the going to New York soon. Okay. Yeah, I have, done a lot of work and put in a lot of time and effort into really trying to help people, only for people trying to cut me out, which I think is just crazy, crazy. But, I feel like when you do bad things, it always comes back to you, whether it's good, whether it's bad, so, at this point, guys, as I said, I'm focusing on me and my projects, and, you probably will see less of me at this point because, I'm in grind mode. I'm in grind mode, I do plan on going back to Dominican Republic. Once the roof and kitchen is done, I'm gonna go down probably in like October for a couple of days, just to see the updates of the everything in person, and then I'll pretty much go for there. But as I said, by the end of this year, the house will be 90% done. And I'm working on that now as we speak. And I tell you guys all the time, okay, I'm at work doing it now. Okay, this is Future World and Big Podcast. Okay, y'all conversing back and forth. Yeah, so, that's pretty much where I'm at. I got the property that I purchased up in Sabana Caroso. For those of you guys who don't know, I think a bone. That's one thing about eating fish. You got to be careful with these bones, boy. Yeah, the property that I purchased up in Sabana Caroso, I am going to be working on my floor plans and everything like that, architectural plans. Like I said, guys, I just been busy. Don't have time to do lives like I want to. I just don't, and then I have a few other projects coming up, with of a couple of viewers that are on that been following me. You know, we're gonna be starting their projects soon. Okay, so anybody that's listen, I just you know, I'm at this point, man. If you're not serious, please don't waste my time. Do not waste my time. You know, and I have encountered this like, yo, it's just crazy. And all I ask is that just be straight up. Just be straight up with me, you know. Some of you guys, you know, y'all have no idea, you know, and it's becoming a headache to say the least when it comes to dealing with people, you know, from my channel, you know. It's been a headache to say the least. It gets you to that point where you don't even want to help people anymore. You know, it's like, yo, figure this shit out yourself. Only because I'm telling you, you know, and the proof will be in the pudding once the house is done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I have gone through my mishaps and my, you know, my pitfalls, but I've always said to y'all, I am taking losses so that y'all don't have to take losses. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I have taken losses. Yo, Jay, your grind is motivational. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. And, you know, I've always been transparent with y'all about everything that I have gone through thus far. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, if I'm putting out showcasing properties and things of that nature, you know, you trust and believe that anything that I'm posting on my channel is legit. You know, you don't have to second guess it. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to my house and the property that I just bought, because that's another thing that I just want to shed light on a little bit. I have been through the process of purchasing untitled land. Okay, so I know there's a big stigma out there about, you know, people buying untitled land. Well, I'm someone who has been through the process of buying untitled land. So with that being said, if I'm, you know, posting untitled property on my channel, obviously it's legit because I done been through the process and I know how to go about, you know, making that land titled. Been through it with my property. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of you guys like to, you know, stay away from buying untitled land. You know, you might end up losing out only because, you know, you listening to somebody who probably doesn't even know how to go about, you know, making the land title. You know what I'm saying? First thing is, you know, when you are buying untitled land, the major thing that you need to look for is making sure that the person who is selling you that untitled land is the person that owns it. Okay. Now, if you're buying untitled land from somebody that doesn't really own the land, then that's a problem. But if the person owns that land, okay, there's no you don't have to worry about, you know, you having an issue with it. And there's a way to go about finding out whether or not the person owns it. You go down to the I forget the name of it, but every city has it. They call it the Tribune de Tarea, if I'm not mistaken. And you can actually go down there to find out whether or not that person owns that property. Okay. Yeah, my son Jay is indeed. Yeah, that's how you find out whether or not, you know, the person that's trying to sell you the untitled property really owns it. Once you you know, you find that out, oh, you're good to go. You sign it, you know, you do the sale of contract, and your sale of contract is basically proof that, you know, you purchased that land. That's important. That's very important that you have the sale of contract. You know, so you have to do your homework by making sure that the person that's selling you the property really owns it. Once you done, you know, found that out, then you go ahead and move along with the sale, and you make sure you have your lawyer present with you to guide you through, you know, the process. But don't let people tell you that don't buy it if it's not titled. You know, a lot of y'all, you know, listen to people who have never been through the process, and then you end up losing out on a good deal. Yeah, you know, when it comes to untitled land, it will be cheaper than land that is titled, only because, you know, it's a big stigma behind it. You know, I've done it. I know a few other people that have bought untitled property. You understand? So, and I'll tell you this: once once the land becomes titled, because even the land that I've just purchased, okay, up in Sabana Caroso. Since I have been through the process of buying untitled land, like I said, I know the in and outs when it comes to that. So the land in Sabana Caroso, yeah, I bought it untitled, but it's in the process of being titled. I done been through the process, so I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to, shed light on that for those of you guys who are, have an issue with buying land that's not titled. Okay, so that's pretty much where I'm at, guys. I just wanted to give you guys an update. You know, expect the video to come out within another, because they told me 14 to 20 days to have the cabinets done. Once the cabinets are done, I'll put a video out of that. Then, as I said, I have the people that does the measurements for the countertops come out, do their measurements. Once I get a price on it, I already got a price, as I said, but that was the price for the granite. I'm not looking to do granite. I'm looking to do quartz. So I'm anticipating on spending about maybe 35 to maybe even 4,000, just for the quartz, because quartz is not cheap. It's expensive. I'm having an island done as well. You know what I'm saying? So I got to get quartz on the island, and not just the island, the countertops itself. You know what I mean? So yeah. Where you been hiding? Now you go live in the pool. Ha ha ha. Yeah, nah, I just been taking some time out for me, you know, focusing on what J Day's got to do for J Day. You know, I have I just been encountering people who have been wasting my time on my channel. You know what I mean? And at this point, I'm just not, like I said, anybody reaching out to me, just know that, it's okay to reach out and say, hey, JD, I appreciate your channel and everything like that. But anything other than that, when it comes to business, just know that I will be charging a consultation fee. At one point, it was 35. Now I'm going up to 50. You got other YouTubers that are charging $150, $200, and I feel like that's reasonable. And if a person that's looking to get valuable information, I know me, if I'm looking to get information from somebody that's going to help me, I'd be willing to pay, So that just, I hear you gotta hit the buffet soon spot you was at. Oh, you talking about the one in the one? I'm actually going there with my boy on Wednesday. We going there on Wednesday, yeah. But yeah, so consultation fees have now gone up. No longer $35, $50 for a consultation fee. And if you're looking to reach out to me, as I said, you can contact me at taylorjayson01@gmail.com, and we'll pretty much go from there. But as far as me doing lives at this point, I'm going to take a little break from YouTube for a little while. Sometimes in life, we need that factory reset. You know what I mean? We need a factory reset. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm working on my craft, working on my businesses. You know what I mean? So, I just got to take a little time away from, focusing on that. And this is one of the reasons why I have been out of the loop, for, I believe, a month and a half, maybe going on 2 months, but at the same time, y'all will see the progress. You guys will see the progress, So, as I said, this is where I'm at, that roof is going to cost me a nice little grip. But, I tell y'all all the time, building a home is not easy, especially doing it as a single person. I'm doing all of this on my own. I'm not, all of what I'm doing, guys, is out of pocket at this point. Is out of pocket. I haven't taken out any loans. I haven't borrowed any money from anybody. All of this is out of pocket. So, it can be done. I'm living proof, that it can be done. Like I said, I have no reason to lie to you guys. I've been transparent from day one. Those who've been following me from day one know my story and know my journey, So going through the process, no, it hasn't been easy, financially, emotionally, you know what I'm saying? It hasn't been easy, but once you, when I feel like when you are focused, won't nothing stop you, you know, and it's taken a lot of sacrifices to get this far. Initially, I was ready to sell the home. I had two buyers, but I'm just like, I done spent all this money, you know, into this home. You know, this is an investment. Some of y'all like, you know, somebody told me, you know, never get attached to real estate, but in this situation, man, I done spent a lot of money into this home, and I'm like, yo, I want to be able to enjoy it for a couple of years, and then, you know, if I decide to sell it later on in the future, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I will be, you know, I will be posting some properties on the channel, but as far as like lives and stuff like that, nah, I'm not gonna be doing any lives no time soon after today. All right, so but as I said, y'all can expect to see the update of the kitchen, the updates of the roof being done. I'll probably start in that roof towards the end of August. You know, that gives me some time. See, the good thing about it is if you're doing it how I'm doing it, guys, I get paid bi-weekly, you know, so that allows me to give a deposit, you know, and then 2 weeks later have enough money to finish it up. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't have enough money within the 2 weeks, then I give myself an additional week so that I can, you know, get the money to do whatever it is that I need to do. But, you know, working in healthcare, the kind of work that I do, it has enabled me to be able to work overtime so that I can hustle and grind, you know, to get it done. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing to be able to have the kind of job that I have, you know what I mean, so that I can get things done, you know? So yeah, this food is good too. And I'll be down there. I'm looking at October-ish because ideally I like to spend a whole month, you know, a whole month. Once the kitchen is done, the house is pretty much livable. You know what I'm saying? It's livable. Um, I plan on Airbnb-ing it out to kind of recoup some of the money because the first floor will be done. Kitchen, bathroom, pool, you know, the first floor, once the kitchen is done, guys, my first level is done. You know, I could actually live in it if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? And for those of you guys who have seen the apartment that I got, I plan on keeping that. You know, the apartment I'm keeping. Oh, also, my landlord is building some more apartments right next door to me. So if any of you guys are interested on renting out an apartment all year round, I got to discuss with her how much she's going to be charging monthly. But I honestly believe, guys, it's not going to be no more than like 250, you know what I'm saying, a month, you know, for the apartments that she's currently building. So if you don't mind living in a Dominican neighborhood like myself, and you are interested in renting out an apartment, and these apartments will be brand new, you know, in the heart of Puerto Plata, let me know. You know what I mean? And I can, you know, I can put you in contact with her, and that way you can secure an apartment before she even finishes up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because and the good thing about it is she will allow you to rent it out as an Airbnb once it's all said and done. You know, her motto is, Jay, I don't care what you do, as long as I get my rent money every month. You know what I mean? So, and for those of you guys just starting out, that can be, you know, a starter for people who are looking, you know, to make a little extra cash, you know, because, you know, eventually the apartment will pay for itself. I paid 13,000 pesos a month for mine. And the only reason why I haven't Airbnb'd it out is only because I got to get an inverter and get a few other things in there to make it comfortable for foreigners to rent. You know, a lot of us need hot water. You know, me personally, I done got Dominicanized, man. I could take a shower, you know, in the cold, and the water really isn't that cold because the Tinaco is the weather's hot in Dominican Republic. You know, the Tinaco that's sitting on top of it it keeps that water pretty much lukewarm. Now at night you might have a little issue once the sun goes down. The temperature drops a little bit in terms of the water temperature, but I'm okay with that. But others aren't. So this is one of the reasons why I haven't rented it out as an Airbnb as of yet. Yeah. We're building our homes in Santiago. Yes, building materials are getting more expensive. They are. They're not getting more. I mean, they get starting to get very expensive, and when you guys knowing that materials are getting expensive, even if you gotta spend just set a budget for yourself, whether it be a weekly or monthly budget, and things that you want to buy for your home, nails, ceramics and stuff. Just buy a little bit at a time. If you want to spend $200, $300 a week on ceramics, I suggest buy them, and store them in your home until you are ready to to use them, But one thing I will say, Steve, you building in Santiago, the prices of ceramics and materials are a little bit cheaper in Santiago opposed to Puerto Plata. So, you have a, you're good on that, and I weighed it out. It will cost more for me, pretty much the same amount to buy materials in Santiago and have them delivered because they charge a delivery fee, so yeah. But yeah, I always say, man, just to avoid the price of inflation of materials, set a budget and buy what you can buy, whether on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly basis, however you get paid. Just set money aside to buy the things that you need for your home. You know what I'm saying? And I get paid every 2 weeks, so every 2 weeks, I'm kicking out to.
What are you doing here?
What you mean what I'm doing here?
What are you doing here?
I'm grinding, man. You heard of my coworkers like, yo, what you doing here? It's a Saturday, and I'm off this morning, but I'm listen. You gotta do what you gotta do, And I was telling him the same thing, He's building you got your property in Jamaica, right?
I'm looking into getting something done.
Right. So we gotta grind to make it happen. Yeah. This shit ain't easy, but if you want it, you gotta make it happen. I tell y'all all the time, I'm not rich. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, man. If you want things in life, man, you gotta work hard at it. You know what I'm saying? I don't ask nobody for nothing. All of what I have acquired and got, I have got because of working hard for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's pretty much what it is with J-Day, And I hope my journey, Burn One, salute, brother, you right. We got to start working hard for what we want, and I've always put out these motivational videos to help y'all, give y'all that boost of encouragement, man. Y'all have no idea. I say it time and time again. People have no idea what goes on behind the scenes, not knowing all the sacrifices I have made to get thus far. You know what I'm saying? People like to look at the exterior and hate on you, not knowing all the sacrifices that a person may have made. You know what I'm saying? Never judge a book by its cover until you walked in their shoes. You know what I'm saying? For real. I have no reason to lie. I have done a lot of downsizing, and if for those of you guys who are in the building phase or looking to build and haven't gotten started yet, you need to start looking at your finances, and start downsizing things that you used to want. You gotta those wants can no longer be your wants, especially if you're trying to build a house. You know what I mean? Do you by any chance have my mailbox keys? No, I don't. Yeah, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that I have stopped buying. You know what I mean? I don't eat out as much. Well, I work a lot, you know what I mean? So my food costs, my food expenses are a little bit pricey. I'm not gonna lie. Only because, I'm pretty much working 7 days a week. 7 days a week. My day starts as early as I wake up at like 6:30 in the morning, and I don't get home until damn near 12 o'clock midnight. And I'm doing this 7 days a week, you know? So that just kind of gives you an idea of how, how hard, you know what I'm saying, I'm working. But, when you have a goal in mind, man, you just got to stay focused. And I keep saying to myself, this too shall pass. It's only temporary because eventually, when it's all said and done, man, I'm 45 years old. I'm 45. By the time I'm 50, I'll be sitting pretty. You know what I mean? And I could have finished up my house. I think I mentioned that before to you guys in my last video. I could have finished up the house. I probably would have been about 90% done at this point had I not have used that money to buy make another investment, in which I did. But I tell you this, when you come across good deals, man, you can't let opportunities pass you by in Puerto Plata. I say it to y'all all the time because the mentality in Puerto Plata is today's prices might not be tomorrow's prices. This is what happens when you are, investing in an unregulated market. What's going on, my girl? You know, Jay, we still waiting for the story. 1 million views, I swear to God. Haitian government, what? Oh, are you still waiting on that story? Well, you're gonna have to wait patiently on that. I promise you this, Haitian government. When the house is done, and I'm sitting on my balcony drinking some cognac. At that point, I'll tell my story. Once the house is done. Because I do got a story to tell, and y'all need to know this. I'm not going to hold back from y'all. I'm not. I'm not going to hold back. Even though people will criticize and, you always going to have that negative people, man. And I don't even delete none of y'all negative people. I don't. Those who are negative and got negative stuff to say, y'all views count too. So I'm not going to delete anything that people put out negative, about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? Always believe in that motto. What don't make you weak, make you what? Make you strong. For real. Can I contact you about your Airbnb, sir? NBA Capital, yeah, TAYLORJAYSON01@gmail.com. As I said, anybody reaching out to me at this point, my consultation fees are $50, and I'll do a whole consultation with you for an hour. All right, so yeah. And like y'all already know, I used to do free consultations, but people just don't appreciate you. They don't. They just don't. They don't respect your, the hard work, and you a lot of y'all do and a lot of y'all don't. And this is one of the reasons I just don't like my time being wasted. My time could be put to use doing other things. Trust me, it can be. So if I'm taking out my time to take a call and give you information that you could possibly use to do whatever kind of investments that you're looking to do, man, it's always worth it. It's always worth it. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at this point. So I'm not gonna stay on here too long, guys. I just want to give y'all some updates. So y'all be sure to be looking out for the updated content on the kitchen, the roof. Once I get that roof up, like I said, guys, by next year, I'm talking about the beginning of next year because I'm going hard right now. You have no idea how hard I'm going. By January of next year, house done. The way I'm going now, the way I'm working and grinding now, house done. Yeah. And it guys, I'm telling you, it can be done. It can be done. Yeah, I'm working my ass off. They're like, oh, you killing yourself. My motto is, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I will sleep when I'm dead. Yeah, that's my motto. So, Cause ain't nobody gonna give it to me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. And so do y'all if y'all trying to make it happen for yourselves. So with that being said, guys, I'm about to close out. It's 1 o'clock, break over. I ain't even get a chance to eat all my food because I'm sitting here talking to y'all. You know, look, I ain't even eat all my food. But with that being said, be sure to hit the like, hit the share, and the subscribe button. For those of you guys who have been supporting me all this time, I appreciate all the love and support. And y'all be hearing from me soon. Until next time, y'all take care, guys. Peace and love always.